This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
We all remember that one teacher who made a difference, who believed in us, challenged us, or just made learning fun. Now's your chance to say thank you in a big way with iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose. Nominate an outstanding public school teacher who's gone above and beyond for their students to win $5,000 to stock their classroom with whatever they need. Help us say thank you to the educator shaping our future. Nominate your favorite teacher now at iHeartRadio.com/teachers.
Couple 13, 14 pastime common. He's 10 to be. And look who Willow drug in. It's none other than the legendary Mark Rosen.
Good afternoon
joins
to you.
us here. How was your weekend?
It was good. I'm trying to backtrack.
Well, your gal's back. Did she arrive Sunday night or Monday morning?
She didn't go to London.
Oh.
She just went to Dublin. She went to the first stage. So
I missed that somewhere in the translation.
I know. No. She went to Dublin, came back, and then... So yeah, we were home for the weekend. Had the early show on Sunday morning, and then we made dinner and just kind of hung out and caught up and all that good stuff. So.
Your Vikings club, entertaining game. I don't think there's any question about that. And again, they had to pull the fat out of the fire. It looked like, I mean, when Cleveland had the ball in their last possession, I thought, well, one first down, this game's probably over. They run it twice, and the Vikings had been unable to stop the run the entire game. It was almost embarrassing. But then they came up with two stops. I think one was for no gain. One might have been a yard or two. Stefanski decides to throw the football. And, we could debate whether that's the right decision to make or not. I'm a guy that does like to win the game, win it. So throw a pass completed. That would have probably been the game. But, of course, he had a rookie quarterback. There was nobody open. He had to throw it away. They ate up like 17 or 20-some seconds. Vikings get the ball back, and then they were able to do something they really hadn't done all day, and that's put together a sustained 80-yard drive. Wentz went 9 for 9. Addison finally emerged. Jet had some key catches in that drive, and they go down and they despite a depleted offensive line in which they were down to, Darisaw was a pitch count. They had 4 backups, and 3 of them I think were considered third stringers. Yet with all of that, playing a pretty good defense, they were able to steal a game against Cleveland in London.
I think we talked about it last week. The only advantage the Vikings had in terms of all the injuries to the offensive line was that they had the full week to work with these guys, as opposed to the week before against Pittsburgh, when you have those in-game injuries and you got to shuffle the deck and putting people in positions they haven't played, and you're doing it in the middle of the game without really any consistent practice time. It's a lot harder to do. So last week they had that chance to work with those guys, and they're professional football players. Granted, the obstacles were there for them, but especially against a guy like Myles Garrett, who for the most part neutralized. But yeah, the names by now, and we didn't know them at all before this week, but for the most part. But I think that full week of practice helped. Now, by all appearances, Donovan Jackson will be back for the Eagles.
Blake Cashman should be back for the Eagles. But I'm talking
just the offensive line. Yeah, I mean, we're hopeful. We haven't heard anything on what's the right tackle yet. O'Neal. It sounded like he would be out for 4 weeks. Well, now we don't know.
Because he was on the IR, doesn't he have to be out 4 weeks? Did they put him on the IR? I thought they did. Did they put O'Neal on the IR?
I don't know if they did.
I don't think they did.
Oh, okay. I thought they did.
But in any event,
I'm not paying as close attention to the injured reserve list as I once did.
None of us do. But the fact that Darisaw, probably his pitch count, as you said, and the Vikings have talked about, will probably increase. And getting, Donovan Jackson back will certainly help. But, that's part of the ebb and flow of what we see, and you guys have talked about it in the NFL with pretty much every single team. But yeah, it was impressive because they did what they had to do that last drive. That's the game. That's the NFL. That's where you earn your keep. And Carson Wentz did his job. He was battling a shoulder that was probably killing him, but fortunately it was his left shoulder. Accurate with his passes. The line provided him with the protection. You said JJ made at least one spectacular catch, and then Jordan Addison found the end zone like he couldn't find the practice time last week for just a little bit anyway. And I still thought, and I know maybe it's the Viking fan and all of us, when Cleveland had an opportunity, I thought, oh boy, I can just see the kid Gabriel launching a Hail Mary.
Yeah.
The ball is going to bounce off 3 hands and end up in the hands of a Cleveland receiver, and they're going to win the game.
I'm glad you brought that up because you know what I want to ask you?
Yeah.
It looked, they granted Minnesota a timeout on the first Hail Mary, but it looked, remember?
Yeah.
They granted them a time, so they got a second chance to do it.
Right.
It looked like O'Connell was really angry with the official. Now, why was that? Has there been an explanation for that? Because if he called a timeout and they recognized it before the play, why would he be mad? Or does he think the play started before the timeout went?
I thought the announcers were pretty confusing all day, but they had the visual of O'Connell running down the sideline doing the timeout sign. So then you look like he is upset about something. Maybe he was upset because it took him so long to acknowledge the fact he was calling a timeout. That's the only thing I can think of. I don't think it ever came up in his news conference. He definitely was signaling for a timeout. And then, of course, Cleveland, Gabriel threw it, he was looking to save a second or two. Yeah. Threw it short, but by the time the receiver ended up in bounds, and so the game ended.
Yeah, it was a nice tackle to prevent, because I think he would have gone out of bounds.
Yeah, he would have.
And they would have had
Those are always, scary situations because we've seen it before.
But you're right. After they called the timeout and they intercepted the pass, it would be very Vikings-like if on the very next Hail Mary they throw it down there and Cleveland catches it. There'd be a lot of
we saw some pretty crazy endings in the National Football League, none crazier than last night when,
I gave up on it. When it was 14-0, I gave up on it.
Wow. You gave up when it was 14-0?
Well, yeah, Kansas City was up 14-0 10 minutes into the game.
I know gave up. Were. That's early to give up in the game, but unless you had something better to do. Yeah, it wasn't like 24-0. It was 14. It's 2 touchdowns. That's all. Against Lawrence. I mean, come on.
Lawrence has been awful.
Well, it's been awful. I mean, he's been pretty good. They're 4-1 right now.
You got more faith than I do.
I'm just saying that they're an explosive team, and the Chiefs' defense has not been very good. I mean, they've been okay. It was very entertaining. Right, for the guy to fall down twice on a play like that.
Wise one you saw that I didn't. I thought it was over.
Well, I'm not saying I thought they were going to come back and win, and I was flipping around, I was watching a little baseball, but
I thought it was over.
Yeah, well, for good reason. I mean, it's not the norm that Kansas City is going to let a 14-point lead.
Well, that's what I thought.
Yeah, well, I understand that. I'm not. I thought it
was over.
Yeah,
so I missed the.
We've seen a lot of crazy games.
I missed the fireworks at the very end.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun and good for Jacksonville. I mean, especially getting a home win like that. I think your kiddies, don't they play Kansas City this week? Sunday Night Football.
Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
And I think it's at Burrowhead, is it not?
It is.
Is it something?
It's at Arrowhead. Yeah, it's a salty team right now because they're not used to being under 500 at any time.
Well, guess what? They're going to be 2 games under 500 after.
They might be. Yeah,
they will.
Well, they should be. Detroit's a better team right now.
Well, Detroit's got injury issues again on defense. They're now missing another starter, and they think Arnold is going to be out a long time too. They said,
isn't he hurt a lot?
Well, his problem is he's kind of shaky. I mean, he can either be brilliant or brutal back there. Yeah. He makes a lot of mistakes.
Well,
he's. I still think you don't give up on him. I think he's got some talent, and they're waiting for him to develop because this is only his second year, I think. But but it's we talked about the first segment, or maybe it was the second segment of the day. We talked about the injury bug and about how there was a piece in the Athletic about how Vikings, Cowboys, and another team have not let they didn't let the injuries stop them from winning football games. And Tennessee and I were discussing that. It's like, like the Lions last year, because their offense was so prolific, they could continue to win games even with a leaky defense when they were missing 18 guys altogether in the season because their offense was so good they could just outscore teams. And sometimes it's if you do have competent backups that are only a step below the guys that got hurt, you can continue to compete. And Mark Craig pointed this out in his piece, he thought O'Connell was brilliant in the way he was able to cover up for all those offensive linemen, the way, the plays you call and the different ways you approach a game. So there are ways to get around injuries, because everybody gets them. It's who handles them best. How good are your backups? And then, like I say, in Detroit's case, if they had just had an ordinary offense last year, a good one, but not the best in the league, basically, they wouldn't have been 15-2. They kept winning games despite they had no defense. In the Vikings, I think, because now again, they've had trouble stopping the run, but when they've needed to come up with stops, they did it, especially this past
Look at another great example, the 49ers. They had a laundry list of injuries, and they're big underdogs, not 2 or 3 point. They were like 8-point underdogs. I think we did a spread swing last week against the Rams, and they found a way. Mac Jones, the Mac Jones. They've paid. I
think Shanahan's a quarterback whisperer.
It might be.
I think he
paid
is.
Brock Purdy a boatload of money.
Well, might be. He is. He coached Brock Purdy. He also coached Garoppolo, and Garoppolo was.
Whatever happened to him?
Well, for a while,
he was okay for a while.
For a while, he took him to a Super Bowl.
I know he did. I know.
So my point is, Shanahan coached up Garoppolo. He coached up Purdy. And now he's coached up Mac Jones. If you want to talk quarterback whisperers, there's one right there.
Well, that's Mac Jones had a tremendous game, but it was a lot more than that with the 49ers. But that just shows you, maybe we're overemphasizing the injury list at times. And I'm saying that with a rhetorical kind of twist to it, because every team has them. But that's why you have to sign really capable backups. So if you have time to work on those guys playing on a regular basis, these guys are pros as well, and they get an opportunity to play. And it really sometimes is not that much of a slide in terms of talent sometimes.
Well, let's take a break and come back. Plenty more to get to. Tennessee, though, right now is a key word for our national cash contest here on the Fan.
Yeah, the Fan and 2 men in a junk truck want to give you a shot to win bonus bucks for their national cash contest. Enter the keyword cash at KFAN.com now for a shot at winning. That keyword is cash. Enter now at KFAN.com. Aquarius Home Services has your shot at 4 tickets to see Green Bay take on the Purple in early January, plus $500 in game day cash. Register for your chance to win today on the KFAN contest page. That's KFAN.com/furnace. Enter today.
I got another question for you, Marcos. I think last week I asked you if you would trade Anthony Edwards for Victor Wembanyama, and you said absolutely not.
No, not in a million years.
Would you in a million years?
No.
Let's not go that far.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, no, the answer is no. I'm not going to. I know you would, but I would.
Would you trade him for Cooper Flagg?
Is that a joke? Oh, yeah, I'd trade him for Cooper Flagg. Let's see, a guy who's probably going to be a multiple MVP for a guy who's got plenty of talent, but no, of course I wouldn't trade Anthony.
Did you see Cooper Flagg last night?
No, I did not see Cooper Flagg last night.
Why did you not watch it? I
was watching baseball. I was watching the baseball playoffs.
You were watching Kansas City against the Chicago. Right. I'm watching
Cooper Flagg,
a first ballot Hall of Fame unanimous. Did you see him last night?
Get struck by lightning? No, I didn't see him. I'm not.
Did you read about what he did?
No. It doesn't matter. To answer your question, of course I wouldn't trade him. Nobody in their right mind would right now.
I would.
Well, of course you would. You would trade him for Wemby. You would trade him for. You said you would trade him for Wemby.
I would trade him for Wemby.
Yeah, and for Cooper Flagg. I know you're just having fun.
He was awfully good last night.
Yeah, boy, that's why they play those preseason games.
Well, all the starters were in.
So what?
Why wasn't your guy Edwards in the first preseason? Do we know?
I don't know. He's playing tonight. He's playing at home tonight. Yeah. So, do you know the Wolves were playing tonight? That didn't sound like it. Because at the start of your show, you were talking about that Anthony Edwards didn't play in the first preseason game.
He didn't.
I know he didn't, but a lot of starters don't play on the road because it doesn't. It's just it doesn't matter. I mean, they want to let other guys get playing time. That's why they call it the preseason. But he's playing tonight because they're playing at home, and they want the home fans to take a look at him for a while. I was
wondering why the player you would trade. You would never trade for anybody would not be playing in the first preseason game. Just a question.
Well, I just gave you an answer. What? Because it's a preseason game.
Well, Joker
on the
played.
Road. Congratulations. I'm happy he played.
Well, I'm just saying.
Well, I know, but he probably won't play in the second game. So it's an irrelevant point. that only you would bring up.
Or is there something more that we don't know about?
Yeah, I'm sure it's a very deep, dark secret.
What if it was disciplinary action?
Oh, I'm sure it's disciplinary action.
Well, you don't know.
Yes, I do know, actually.
Well, how do you know?
It's like talk to the PR guy today. No, I just wanted to make sure he was starting, and he's going to play tonight.
So you asked if he was. You asked the PR guy if he was starting.
I did. Well, I asked if he was playing, and
why would you ask? Because if he's going to, you just said, well, it was a no-brainer. He'd play the home. So you were thinking the same thing I were. Why was he out game one?
Because they rested him. He was watching from the bench.
Well, you would need rest if you haven't played one game yet this season. You come off of.
This is going to be a long year talking.
Well, no, but I just mean you just said resting him. They haven't played yet.
It's a term that you use. I know this is new for you. When you're saying they're resting him, of course he doesn't need the rest.
I wouldn't think so. He's just been resting for 6 months.
Use some of this stuff for your comedy routine. You need to freshen it up.
What? You need to explain yourself of why he would need rest.
It's the wrong word. It's
okay.
He was just not playing. How about that? They chose to not play him in a meaningless exhibition game because they wanted to take a look at some of the other players on this team that they acquired, like Bones Highland and all the rest of the young players that they picked up. And it's hardly unusual in any sport, especially Kenna talked about. Kaprizov didn't play. They signed a multi-billion-dollar contract. He didn't play in the first preseason game, did he?
He didn't play like 4 of them.
Yeah, why didn't he? Are they resting him?
Well, no, he doesn't need rest because they've been...
Okay.
Ant doesn't need rest yet. Let's let him play a game.
I would say rest is probably not the right. It's just avoiding injury. That's what it is.
Well, it's not even that. It's just not. They just want to take a look at some other players. And like I said, he's going to play tonight. He'll probably play, who knows, 12, 15 minutes, whatever, just to get out there. Right. They're practicing harder than what he would have to do in the game tonight.
And just food for thought. Okay. So I'm just asking.
I just belched it up, so that's okay.
Okay. We'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll just keep an eye.
It's funny.
What's your prediction for the Wolves this year?
Well, I mean, it's a very, again, the Western Conference speaks for itself, and it starts with OKC, and you're chasing them. I haven't really given it that much thought, but I would think the Wolves would be in contention to be a second place finisher to Oklahoma City in the regular season. Sorry, I got to turn this down. I think that, I mean, as they say, they're running it back. They got some newer players. They got some guys that I think will be better this year. Hopefully be healthier for the most part. DiVincenzo, depending on how you want to pronounce his name. Julius Randle I went to that first game last year when they were in L.A. Against the Lakers, and Randle was lost. I mean, look at it. It took a while, as we saw, a fish out of water. And I think they're going to be able to pick up where they kind of left off. And I think those two guys in particular.
You're predicting a second seed?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that would be my prediction. And it's if they can stay healthy, they got the depth, they have the players come back. I think they have the motivation. But OKC is going to be the ultimate challenge. They're just that good. But Denver, the rest of the characters, they have Denver's number. It doesn't seem like they ever lose to Denver, whether it's preseason, regular season, or playoffs. They play awfully well against Denver. Dallas is going to be your guy. Cooper Flagg will be obviously very good, and if they can stay healthy. It's always an if with those guys. Those are probably am I missing another team? Golden State's going to drop off. I think they're aging quickly. Yeah, I think that's. Yeah, I don't see them making a run. So I think it's OKC, Minnesota, Dallas, Denver, depending on which pecking order you want to put them in. Yeah, and then after that, who knows? I mean, I don't start predicting playoffs and all that, but they should certainly. Be right there.
It's a hell of a roster the Mavericks have put together.
Yeah, it's good. It's very good. They're a very good team.
They've got Cooper Flagg. They've got
Street Clothes.
Street Clothes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Give him about 15 games before he gets
Kyrie.
What'd you say? What was that last name you said?
D'Angelo Russell.
Combo guard.
You included him in that conversation? That's funny.
If he was still in a Wolves uniform, you'd be raving about him.
No, I would not. I wasn't raving about it when he was here. Yeah. Are you kidding? I would sometimes I'd come in here and go, what kind of shot selection was that guy taking?
This is going to be a long season with the homer takes.
It's not a homer take.
We're the deep team with the second seed in Dallas. They're okay, but they got street clothes will be injured and this and that.
That's why they call them street clothes. When is the season? When's the last time Street Clothes has played a whole bunch of games? It's unfortunate. He's a huge talent, and it's not. I'm sorry, I forgot about the Lakers. I mean, LeBron made his big announcement today to talk about some liquor he's promoting. The big announcement he made. I don't know. It's
Doncic, Hardaway.
That's a damn good team. I'm not trying to shy away from that. I'm saying I'm not.
Washington,
it sounds like
Daniel
you are.
Gafford.
Yeah, they're good. I think
they're going to win the NBA championship.
They very well might. I'm not. I didn't say anything about the playoffs or postseason. You asked me where the Wolves would finish. I said I thought they'd finish second. That's what a lot of the people are saying. That if you, depending on which order you want to go in, and it doesn't really matter. Just finish second, third, whatever it is. You still have to. It's just a matter of seeding to get into the postseason, and home court doesn't always mean that much. So
you've heard about Luka, haven't you?
Yeah, I have heard about him. I've watched him play.
No, but I mean that he's...
Oh, he slimmed down?
Well, he did. He's in shape.
He looks good. Well, maybe that'll help him this year because it certainly wasn't helping the team last couple of years. I mean, in terms of his conditioning. Well, that's why he lost the weight because people would say he got tired, defensively in particular. So, I mean, they're paying him how many millions of dollars? You'd think he would be in... That's his one job, is to be in the best possible shape you can be in. All these guys... And when people go, oh, look at, he's worked so hard. He's being paid $50, $60 million a year. Isn't that any of these players' job to be in the best possible shape you can be in? I would think so.
Houston club looks pretty good too.
Well, yeah, they are very good. But they lost their starting point guard.
It's okay.
Well, it's not okay. I mean, they have to replace him.
Well, let's see. The Wolves lost Julius Randle for an extended period of time.
And it hurt him a lot. Well, yeah, it hurt them, and it took them a while to kind of, that's what I said. I think the advantage they'll have this year is that it's not going to be a new experience.
They got Josh Okogie now. We didn't need him here.
Oh, we didn't need him. He's good. I liked watching Josh Okogie. He was a good defensive player.
Yeah. Pretty good club.
The West is loaded. I'm not denying that.
Steven Adams, pretty talented player. He always gives the Wolves fits.
Can't wait to go to the games.
Oh, yeah, you'll be there. There's no question.
You won't be.
Well, of course not. Why would I go? I could watch it on TV.
I know. I understand that.
We'll take a break. We'll come back. I've got more to grill Mark Rosen about on the other side of the break. It's a comment program here on The Fan.
Chime in on what's happening with your favorite KFAN program. Make your voice heard on the Bradshaw and Bryan text line. Let us know what you have to say by texting your message to 64686. That's 64686. Standard message and data rates apply.
The Bengals haven't given up yet. They traded for Joe Flacco. They think they've seen enough of Jake Browning. They traded for Joe Flacco. I think they figure if they can just hang around until Burrow gets back. Is what they're thinking.
It's December, though, right? Yeah.
And hang around. Well, Pittsburgh's 3-1.
I know the record is not as bad as they are, and they're awful.
2-3.
Yeah. How about the one team that's just given up more points than any team in the NFL? Who'd ever thought that the Baltimore Ravens giving up more points than any team in
Lions
football?
Softened them up for everybody else.
Oh, they've certainly been softened up. They're a disaster. And now, I don't know how long Lamar's out, but it's stunning, really. But
would you trade Ann for Victor Oladipo? He scored 20 points last night
yes,
for the
I would.
Guangzhou Lions.
I love Victor Oladipo.
That's how many points he scored for the Guangzhou Lions last night.
There's your guy up there on the TV.
Look at that.
Cooper Flagg, another Dookie.
Watch this package. I just don't watch this against the defending NBA champs, too. Watch this. Look at that. Boom.
I don't see
block shot.
Wow.
Look at that.
Amazing.
Now, look at that. And he kept running down the lane on the left side to make sure that he.
No one's ever done that in the history of the league.
Watch, look at this.
Yeah.
Look at that little dish. Yeah. Little underhanded dish between two players.
Rookie of the year and maybe even an MVP candidate.
Watch this now. Look at him. Look at that. Just finds the open guy right there. Just a beautiful.
Funny, I don't recognize any of those players on OKC playing out there right now.
Look at this.
I don't think Chet Holmgren's out there.
Watch this. Boom.
Where is Chet? Oh, he's not playing. He's resting.
He was in foul trouble.
He's resting.
He was in foul trouble.
Okay.
Well, he couldn't guard Flag. Couldn't stop him. Nobody can stop Cooper Flag.
Just have to contain him.
Look at him. And you're doubting him.
I'm not doubting him at all. He'll probably be Rookie of the Year.
Look at that. Oh my God. Rises up for a three with a guy in his face.
The guy in his face with the Thunder uniform on.
He did that all in about 4 minutes of action.
Yeah. Wow.
They beat down OKC 106-89. Just beat them down.
Guys that were wearing OKC's uniforms, they weren't really the OKC Thunder, but that's okay. That's all right.
Whatever you want to believe, Mark.
I don't want to believe. I saw SGA out there, then we'll get back to when the regular season starts, which isn't that far away.
If that's what you want to believe.
Yeah, well, it'd be fun to watch him. He's a good player.
What do your twin sources tell you? Any closer to getting a manager? No. Who are they going to get? What do your sources tell you? Anything?
Radio silence. I've heard everything from they're looking at a college coach to the usual kind of retread suspects. Batting coaches, hitting, pitching coaches. What difference does it make? I mean, again, you're asking someone. It's like that. See, in Office Space, what is it exactly you do here? The Twins manager. What is it exactly you do here besides make out the lineup card with a team that's really not major league material? That's what I would like to know. It really, it's not going to sell tickets. I don't know who they're hiring. The ghost of Sparky Anderson. It's just, I'm watching the baseball playoffs, and I watched 7 innings of that game last night, and you would have loved it. The Dodgers and the Phillies. The 2 starting pitchers were as good as it gets, and it was, I think, 7 innings of scoreless ball. The Phillies pitcher was unbelievable. The Dodgers starter was outstanding, and it was just, I think each team had a hit or two. It was your kind of game. And then the Dodgers, as the Dodgers are wont to do, just broke it open. They're just too good.
Text messages are actually asking, when are you giving away the Petty Theft Tour tickets?
Oh, boy.
Think about it.
They were actually interested?
They're actually interested. And I forgot to give them away, so why don't we do that right now? Do you mind?
Sure.
Get ready to laugh your face off. Just a couple of pickpockets as the Petty Theft Tour. Common and Meat Sauce and Larry Mondello guy will take over Max's on the Green and Spicer this Saturday. You can grab your tickets today at eventbrite.com or be part of the heist right now. Be the 11th caller at 1-8. What are you laughing about over there?
Oh, it's a comedy show. I'm supposed to laugh.
1-800-320-5326. 1-800-320-5326. If you're the 11th caller, you're going to go to the Petty Theft Tour Saturday night at Spicer. Doors at 4:30. Show at 7:30. They're opening really, really early, so you can buy a lot of food and such like that. They got a hotel there. You can stay overnight. They got a golf course. It's going to be a grand time.
Nice.
That's roughing it. New London Spice. That's about 2 hours in the Twin Cities.
Yeah, that is roughing it.
Yeah. So, it'll be a lot of fun. Were you here when they signed Kaprizov that we already talked about?
Yeah.
Okay, because I couldn't remember if that was on Friday or whatever.
No, it was before
I wasn't
that.
here Friday. I was when that was out.
No, it was before that.
Okay.
Yeah.
They signed the goaltender to a big deal.
Gus Bus,
and I think Teneby, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but he goes, I think he was kind of almost forced to, but, he had a really good year and kind of an okay year, but what are you going to do? He's kind of your guy, and you got to sign him, and so that's what they've done. It's a lot of money for a goaltender, I think.
Well, it's the price you pay. I mean, no more Marc-Andre Fleury to come to the rescue. And Wallstead, is he done? Is he the backup now, Tenna?
I think so. Tenna's taking calls.
Oh, I'm sorry. For the tickets.
For the ticket.
Yeah, it's, we all know the price of success, and you got to hope that he keeps getting better and better. And, I can't, it's here we are in middle of October, not even middle of October, right? Seasons are colliding again. NHL season actually starts tonight. The Wolves and the NBA doesn't start for a couple more weeks. And, I said baseball playoffs and everything else happening, college football, it's just a collision of seasons.
Yeah. My sources tell me the Twins are looking at Kurt Suzuki as the manager.
I've heard the name. I mean, I've heard the name. I've heard the name mentioned as well. Again, it's great. I hope, listen, a lot of guys would be interested in managing a big league club. The salary's good. You got a good opportunity. Probably sign a 3-year contract, so you're guaranteed 3 years of salary, and you got no pressure on you. I mean, it's not like you're taking over the Yankees or a contending team. I mean, you literally have no pressure on you, and we've seen both sides of it. We've seen a Hall of Fame player like Paul Molitor, who worked with the minor league system, knows the game inside and out. Named manager of the year. I was in New York. They lost that one game playoff they had with the Yankees. But then, the Twins management wanted their own guy.
Look at that lineup. Look at all those players.
Why are you so fascinated with the Dallas
I just think Dallas
Mavericks?
has got one of the best rosters ever assembled in the history of the NBA.
Okay. You really are delusional. One of the best rosters in the history of the NBA.
On paper,
Celtics, Lakers, 70s.
I said one of. I didn't say the best.
I know that, but even
there's more than Mark. There's more than the '80s Lakers and Boston teams. There's more than the '80s teams.
You don't have to go back that far. San Antonio Spurs, that ring a bell? The dynasty they had. You probably never watched any of those games. But anyway, those guys were pretty good under Popovich. With Duncan and Ginobili and
Save all this audio, would you, Tim? Because he's basically laughing at the Dallas Mavericks.
I'm laughing at you because you're comparing an unproven Dallas Mavericks team right now with one of the greatest rosters of all time. It's pure comedy gold. Like I said, you saved some of this stuff for the show. They haven't done anything
When the
yet.
Mavericks are like 30-3. And your Wolves club's fighting to stay above 500.
Okay, get back to me. I will apologize profusely on this show.
Get ready, start rehearsing right now.
This is 100,000 watts. What is it right now? I don't even know. Okay, I will apologize profusely if the Mavericks are 30-3.
Start rehearsing that apology. That Mavericks club's
the name of the podcast today is Doubting Dallas.
Exactly.
Doubting Dallas. He's doubting Dallas. He's laughing at the Dallas Mavericks. Making fun of...
I'm not making fun of them at all. I think they have... you asked me at the beginning. I said, all those the teams in the West to beat are simply, OKC, I threw the Wolves in second, Dallas and Denver. It's the same... It's the usual suspects. I think, like I said, I think Golden State's going to drop off. Phoenix is not going to be that great this year. Sacramento. I mean, you got good teams that are quality teams, but not contending teams. And I would put Dallas in the category of a contending team. I'm not dismissing them. I'm just saying I wouldn't call them one of the greatest teams that ever assembled in NBA.
I think they're one of the greatest teams ever assembled in history.
And you wonder why your credibility is at stake.
I got plenty of credibility.
It's with statements like that. Yeah. 5 running backs.
Well, the 5 running backs thing still should be done.
Well, you're here for humor. I understand that.
I don't see why having 4 or 5 of the best running backs in the league.
So they would all be very happy getting 3 carries a game.
How do you know they wouldn't be? Because
you couldn't afford them under the salary cap.
Those running backs we talked about, Mark, also signed for $10 million or less a season. That's not that much.
Saquon Barkley's making $10 million?
He was last year.
Well, I'm talking about this year.
Well, but I was talking about signing him last year. If you signed those guys, none of those guys were making. You could have signed 4 top running backs for a grand total of about $40 million. You're paying quarterbacks $50 million. One guy $50 million. You could play running backs.
So you're not going to throw the ball. You're just going to hand it off on 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. Hand it off to them and hope that they can.
Well, you can have a quarterback too. You got Aaron Rodgers is playing for $10 million right now, and you didn't want him on the club. You didn't want him. You wanted to go with J.J. McCarthy, the wonderkin from Michigan. How many quarters has he played? 8. How many were good? 1. How many were awful? 7. But you want to turn it over to him after the Vikings have spent more money this year, cash outlay, than any team in pro football to try to win now, and you're turning it over to an unproven kid who can barely shave. Okay.
Well, I think as we've seen, and it's going to take time. No one anticipated JJ missing all of last year. No one anticipated him recognizing. But I think if you look at the class, you look at Drake May, you look at Bo Nix, You look at Jaden Daniels. You look at Caleb Williams. I'm missing probably one or two other ones. And JJ's in that mix. The one thing all those other guys have an advantage of is playing time. And therein lies the issue with the Vikings right now and what KOC has to decide. At some point, JJ McCarthy has to play. And whether
he's going to play against Philadelphia.
He probably will. If he's healthy enough, I think he will play against them. Yeah, I think he will. And they're not throwing the towel in. You can, and this season is very much alive, and the guys are paying good money to want to win, and they want to win now. And that's not to suggest that McCarthy can't win now. But if you sit him for the rest of the year and say we're going to roll with Carson Wentz the rest of the year, is that the right decision? Then what? Then start the clock all over again next year. All these guys I just mentioned, May, Nix in particular, Daniels played really well last year. Caleb Williams had their struggles. Pretty much every single quarterback that started out that way with their Hall of Fame type careers have struggles early on. I don't know how you avoid that, but I also don't know. I mean, you have to decide what's best for the team right now. And if they feel that McCarthy's ready and has made strides and whatever he's done, but you got to do it in a game, and then you got to line them up against the Eagles and the Chargers and the Lions 3 straight weeks. I'm not sure Carson Wentz is going to be able to handle all of that. But then again, you look at some of the issues that some of these teams are having. As I've said a million times, this is a week-to-week situation. The Eagles are having trouble throwing the football right now. They're having trouble scoring. You don't know what it's going to be like when you play them a week from Sunday. They got a game on Thursday night, and injuries play a role in it. They got to come in here. The Vikings will be healthier a week from Sunday. I think the anticipation is that McCarthy's going to play, but that doesn't mean it's going to be 100% the right decision. You don't know that. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a decision to be made. But no, I'm not unhappy that J.J. McCarthy's on this team instead of Aaron Rodgers. I don't think the Vikings would have. Do you think they'd have more wins right now if Aaron Rodgers was on the team? Which game would they have won? I think they'd be
4-1.
Wait, which games? So they would have beaten Atlanta?
Well, they would have beaten
Atlanta. Ran right over them. It had nothing to do with the quarterback that day here.
The quarterback was sometimes when a team is running over you, your quarterback has to step up and make plays and score
points. That's like saying the Ravens should be winning because Lamar Jackson was putting up big numbers before he got hurt, but
if
their
Rodgers
defense was so
here,
bad.
He wouldn't have been quarterbacking Pittsburgh. We played Pittsburgh and we lost to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
If Rodgers would have been playing for us, he wouldn't have been playing for Pittsburgh. He was really good in that game. That's why we lost. I think it was a little more than okay.
Well, I mean, it's not.
Did you see the one touchdown pass he threw where he looked pace off the wrong guy and hit him that touchdown?
Yeah, and the Vikings blew their coverage, and DK Metcalf ran right past him. It was a blown coverage. The pass was 12 yards. It wasn't. It
was what Rodgers did. He, with his eyes, he had pace
so
going.
I know.
Well, he did. He did do that. Didn't you see it?
Did you see Aaron Rodgers last year? Why would you sign Aaron Rodgers based on what he did last year with the Jets? I don't remember you cocking off about him last year.
What does that have to do with this year?
Because that's why they didn't sign him. I mean, I think that they decided to go with J.J. McCarthy. And
they didn't sign him. They didn't sign him
because they wanted to go with the kid. And Aaron Rodgers has been a diva for many, many years.
And that's what the coach wanted to avoid. It's his team, not he know that all the attention would have been taken. It would have been taken away from the quarterback whisper.
What are you talking about?
If they would have signed Rodgers, all the media attention would have been on Rodgers. None would have been on O'Connell and his quarterback whispering ability.
Well, that's not something he brings up. That's a media pushed and fan pushed situation. I don't think. Tell me the one time that KLC got in front of a bank of microphones and said, remember, folks, I'm the quarterback whisperer. I don't remember him. He didn't go Sean Payton on the bit or anything. When did he ever say that? When did O'Connell put himself?
He doesn't.
Why are you? No, you're saying it's exactly what you're saying. You're saying it's better.
It's the way he responds to the questions.
How did he? Give me an example.
Well, when they asked him about being a quarterback, he goes, "Well, with the way we do things here." He didn't say. So? Well, he could have just said, "Let's time out on the quarterback whisper stuff. We got a lot of talent."
And he gave Sam Darnold a ton of credit last year, over and over and over again. Your narrative is falling on deaf tones here.
I don't know. Common's right. Rogers here. We're 4-1 at least. That's what someone says.
Okay, good. Well, it's too bad we blew it, I guess.
One.
How about the Rosen having a boatload of quality running backs isn't a bad thing? Ask the 1916 Georgia Tech squad led by Coach Joe Heisman.
Who?
Georgia Tech squad, 1916. They defeated Cumberland by a score of 222-0.
So,
every touchdown was a running touchdown.
All those running backs with those huge egos that all want to be in Canton, Ohio would get along just great on the team when they're going to.
Let me ask you.
Derrick Henry,
I'll ask you a question.
Saquon Barkley, all those guys.
I know where you're going with this, but let me interject. Let's say you were at WCCO television and they said, Mark, we're going to pay you the same amount of money for doing did you do 5 nights a week? And then Road Sports Sunday. Yes. They said, we're going to allow you to do 2 nights a week and we're going to pay you the same amount of money. You just said, I can't do that. I like working. You would have said 2 nights instead of 6, same amount of money, I'm in. So if you went to Saquon Barkley and said, instead of getting beat up, and because we already know that the running back position, they say it's 5 years and you're done because you get beat up so bad. Mm-hmm. So now we're telling you, we're going to pay you $11 million a year. And instead of carrying the ball 22 times, you're going to carry it 5 or 6 times. You're going to share the load with Derrick Henry. You know how many guys would go, well, that sounds good to me, and that gives us a better chance to win because we've got 2. Look what Detroit's done with just 2 running backs. That's the best.
Until it mattered.
Running. That was the defense. That's the best running back combination in pro football right now. I wish they had a third guy. I wish they had one other really talented running back so you could really rotate him in and out.
But it's also because Jared Goff is a terrific quarterback and he's got great wide receivers. It's not just because of the running backs that their offense is excelling. The running backs are awfully good, but you take you look at the Laporta, those guys, and a high quality who's hit his stride.
That's good general managing. Yes,
it is. But I'm saying you're making it sound like the running backs are the reason why. They're a part of it, but
right.
It's not.
It goes hand in hand. When the running game is really good, it opens up the passing game, and when the passing game is really good, it opens.
Well, it's an interesting theory you have, but Anyway,
someday someone will try it.
Yeah, maybe.
Someday someone will try
it. Some college teams do it,
and they'll revolutionize.
The Gophers try 4 or 5 running backs,
and they'll revolutionize the game.
They will. Yeah,
you wait and see. They'll revolutionize the game.
I think I'll be around that long.
Well, what do you say that for?
Not because I think it'll be 40 years from now.
Oh, I'm in better
shape now than I was when I was 35.
That's what I'm saying. So you're going to be around a lot longer than the rest of us.
I might. I can think of a bunch in this station. I'll probably be around longer than. You better start taking care of themselves.
Oh my gosh. Do you want to name some names? Who are some of those people that need to take care of themselves?
I'm not going to do that.
Teneby, do you think there's some people here that need to start taking care of themselves?
Well, yeah. I don't know if that means Rosen will outlast them, but
no, I probably won't. It's just I got father time is unbeaten, as they say. I just hope I see the Wolves win a championship or the Vikings win a championship before that day comes, or the Wild, obviously. No, you need to kick around a few more years anyway, maybe.
Yeah, he'll be around.
We'll see.
You're not going anywhere.
I don't know about that. We'll see. Got the lottery numbers.
What do you think of Gophers game? Ohio State.
Common, honestly, the Vikings, the Gophers they got the ball. Nice drive. It
was a nice drive, though.
It was I'm like being sarcastic. It was a very nice drive, and I thought this is kind of their formula, at least hang around for a while, and then, of course, they had to settle for a field goal, and thinking, okay, they got 3 out of the bid anyway, and that was kind of it. I mean, I call it an indictment on college football, but the Gophers have a good football team. They're not a great football team. They're not a terrible football team. We saw the game against Rutgers. That's we're going to see them play Purdue this week. That's where they are in the pecking order of these. You watch Ohio State and you think, take that offensive line that the Buckeyes put on the field, give it to the Vikings on tomorrow. That's what I kept thinking because they're so banged up. They're just loaded everywhere. They're just that wide receiver.
Well, and forget their offense.
Their defense hasn't given up yet.
Their defense has given up 25 points in 5 games. Now think about that. That means
I know.
they're averaging giving up 5 points a game. That's a good deal.
Astonishing. And they just keep reloading. That's what they do. They have the top running
There's some
backs.
teams out there that can give a run for the money.
I'm sure there are, but I think it might be a bigger discrepancy this year than before.
We'll see you at 2 tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
The legendary one. Tenby, thanks for having me.
Hey, great job.
You as well. I enjoyed our visit with you today. We're back tomorrow at 12 noon. Stick around. Big Ticket, JG. They're next year on the Fan.
Good night, folks. And good night, Mrs. Calabash. Wherever you are.
Listen back to any of Common Man's programs by podcasting on the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.